From a chaotic lead with shady habits that no one wanted, to fan service moments taking over the entire plot, here's why The Flash is not living up to the hype. Now, I have to say, even after the constant delays in its release, fans were still excited about The Flash. That is, until Ezra Miller decided to unleash themselves on this world and turn every fan sour against the movie. I remember back in 2017, they were one of the best parts of the Justice League. And that's saying something because there aren't a lot of good things to talk about in that movie. But still, after seeing Ezra play the goofy Barry Allen in his Flash debut, everyone was really excited to see what they'd do in their solo film. This hype continued even after COVID, when DC released the first teaser for The Flash, because things were finally coming together and fans just couldn't wait. But then, 2022 happened, and Ezra was charged with multiple counts of misconduct, including threatening the KKK, being arrested and charged with harassment in Hawaii, having a restraining order filed against him, and then the worst of the bunch, grooming a 12-year-old named Toe Kata Iron Eyes since 2016, a claim which was later denied by the girl and her parents. But by then, the damage was done. The internet had served its sentence, and Ezra was canceled, only they were still a big part of the upcoming DC film. And despite management changing at Warner Brothers, it was still being pursued as one of the biggest movies on their roster. I mean, they totally canned the Batgirl film, guys, but not The Flash. Never The Flash, because by then they'd invested too much in the movie to can it or even change its lead. So instead, when Safran and Gunn took over, they started calling it one of the best superhero films James Gunn had seen all his life. Yes, James, who's the creator of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Who was he even kidding? But it wasn't just him. Icons such as Stephen King and Tom Cruise were all over the movie as well, calling it the best thing that was ever gonna happen to the superhero fandom, and that it was totally worth the wait. And oh boy, did fans wait? Because those delays I mentioned earlier? Thanks to WB constantly changing its course in the past few years, and other factors here and there. The movie went through a lot of back and forth, changing directors, animators, and switching the release date many times. I thought this film was going to release on Justice League's decade anniversary, but it's finally out now, and so are its reviews, that are mostly geared toward the fact that the movie sucks. Yes, that's what people are saying, and it's bad, guys, really bad. So let's get into it. Right now, the film's got a 66% rating on Rotten Tomatoes and a 7.3 on IMDb. Sounds okay, right? But despite receiving normal ratings, the movie's numbers aren't adding up. It opened to around $55 million in the domestic market, a number that's brought it under Black Adam, which, despite its general unpopularity, at least opened for $67 million. The Flash didn't even achieve that, and is just over Shazam. That opened to $53 million, which is a joke compared to what Man of Steel and Batman v Superman earned, raking in $116 million and $166 million each. Even Suicide Squad, one of DCEU's worst adaptations, generated $133 million big bucks in its opening weekend. But The Flash, a potential lifesaver for the DCEU for its new era, opened for a measly $55 million, which is a feat so disappointing, it almost feels surreal. I mean, I get that people didn't want the movie to release at all after Ezra's controversies broke out, but did they hate it so much that no one went to watch it? It looks like that for sure, but that's not the only reason. Another reason is DCEU's general dip in quality, which started way back when Justice League was handed over from Zack Snyder to Joss Whedon, cursing even the more successful franchises, like Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Shazam, and even Man of Steel, whose lead was fired without any warning, just after giving us a promising Henry Cavill cameo in Black Adam. Plus, there was a lot of talk about Henry Cavill joining The Flash at some point, and the film being a passing of the torch moment between him and Supergirl. Like literally half of the hype for the film was because of those rumors going around, but even they died after Gunn let Henry go, killing even the smallest hope people had to see him join Affleck and Miller in the film. All this had a huge effect on how fans viewed the DCEU's growth. And as if all that wasn't enough to make the hype around the film fall, it's a multiverse film on top of everything. Look, the fact is, people are tired of the multiverse now. It seems like Marvel has once again beaten DC to the punch here, and despite The Flash being the fastest man alive, he's too late to the party. And because of that, the movie was destined to fall short of its expectations, let alone surpass them. Even the cameos in The Flash didn't add the surprise or wow factor they were supposed to, because before this, Spider-Man No Way Home had given fans enough cameos to last the decade. So all that, and the falling interest in the DCEU just kept adding up. And even before the film released, people knew it was never going to meet the hype that DC built. And that's what came true. Not that the movie's bad entirely. Trust me, it's not Morbius, so you don't have to worry. The Flash has its moments, especially in the beginning, where it starts out strong with Barry Allen on a rescue mission, filled with the kind of humor and fast-paced action that makes the character so popular. And despite their issues, Ezra plays a strong lead who's got what it takes to save the day, but they're either burdened by the plot, the cameos, or the guilt of their actions, because midway through the film, everything slows down, and things become so time travel and multiverse focused, it's hard to keep up. The movie still follows the main themes of guilt, sorrow, and loss that have always been a part of the Flash's general persona. And having two of them helps because, despite their issues, Ezra's got some great talent in them, but there's just too much going on, and that's what fan reactions and reviews are saying as well. According to the audience, The Flash wants to achieve so much and has so much potential, but because it's got so many ideas to play with, the film doesn't have enough time to do justice to any of them. They're saying the movie wants its audience to get caught up with the multiverse, but like I said earlier, the multiverse becomes such a big part of the movie, it hurts the bigger concept of the Flash, or Barry, realizing that he can't always save everyone he loves. This is something everyone has already seen Grant Gustin play out in CW's TV show, and of course there's Flashpoint, only the best DC animated film ever made. So to watch that play out again in live action, but in such a half-assed manner, just takes away from the entire plot. This is why it can't reach a must-watch status by any means. Compared to this, Across the Spider-Verse is a much better experience, which is also a movie with multiple characters and a lot of universe jumping. But even then, it's so well laid out, you can't keep your eyes off the screen, even for a second, which is sadly not what I can say about The Flash, where even the nostalgic cameos and fan service moments failed the plot. I won't lie to you guys, watching Michael Keaton appear in the trailer with Danny Elfman's score playing had me pumped for the movie. But after watching the film, I have to agree with the viewers that the movie's so full of characters that it feels like they're relying too much on nostalgia. Which is never great, because that means your main character's plot is so weak, you have to bring other people in to save the story. And it'd be a different thing if they did save the film. But like I told you guys, with Keaton and Affleck's Batman, Shannon's General Zod, and Sasha Cale's Supergirl, the film's so overwhelmingly full it seems like a half-baked version of Justice League instead of a Flash movie with Ezra as the main lead. Plus, they haven't even done the cameos right because, and I don't mean to spoil the film for you guys, but one classic Flash from the 90s also makes an appearance, only he's either AI generated in the movie or some of his previous clips have been used. Because the actor mentioned in a tweet that he had no idea he was even supposed to be part of the movie. Now that's not gonna help the movie at all, is it? So that's it, guys. From fan service moments taking over the entire plot to a chaotic lead with shady habits. That's why The Flash is not living up to the hype.